Yo guys, welcome to The Last Lap. Don't forget to drop a lovely, juicy 5-star rating if you're watching on Apple Podcasts or Spotify. Hope you enjoy, and let's get into it. Equal machinery debate. What's this part of the pod, Niran, to remind everyone listening and watching? Ladies and gentlemen, this is the segment of the show. Well, that sounded like I was about to do an FTW.
Oh, it did, didn't it?
This is a segment of the show where, I was going to say, where we are allocated a driver each. We have to argue that they would be the best today. They would win in a 3-person race in equal machinery in the exact same car. At the end, we then got to guess whether we truly meant what we were saying. So we've been allocated a driver each. And
who did the best job?
Who did the best job to...
Even if you don't believe what you're saying. So this is allocated by producer Lewis. Big up, Lewis. Charles Leclerc for you, Jake.
Yep.
Okay.
George Russell for you, Niran.
Oh, PR 63.
And Lando Norris for me.
I love that you got that's good. Yeah. You've got Lando.
Yeah. You can't have Lando.
Yeah. I'd just be like, he's good at Among Us. No, I'm waffling.
That's all the hallmarks for a future champion.
And also we're going to do this time limit. 1 minute.
1 minute, 60 seconds.
I'm going to make you go first, Jake.
All right. Charles Leclerc.
Because I'm a terrible, awful human being. So you've got 1 minute to say that Charles Leclerc would beat George and Lando in equal machinery. Are you ready?
Yeah.
3, 2, 1, go.
Well, he's already beaten them repeatedly this year. I think ultimately, though, he's knocked Sebastian out of his car. That's a 4-time world champion. I don't think it's up for debate simply because George, I don't see the sort of dog in him as of yet. I think we saw elements of it in Spain when he was fighting Max. But I think Charles, obviously it didn't work out great in the end, but he fought Max pretty hard, was still sort of up thereabouts. And I just don't think that Lando's not been tested fully yet. He's not been in a title fight. Charles has. And George has a lot of potential, but I just don't think they're there yet. They've not been tested through the fire the same way Max was against Lewis, for example. So I think Charles is the one because I'm just watching it count down.
He's the one. Okay.
He's the one.
Just repeat
1 minute.
the same point.
Over and over. That's what I did last time.
With slightly different words.
It's a good strategy.
That's what I did last time when I had to be flipping Mick Schumacher.
You could sound more stroppy about that.
Okay.
You next?
Is it me next?
Yeah, why not?
Right, cool.
Why not?
Yeah,
right.
safe.
3, 2, 1, go.
All right, he finished second in a Williams at Spa. Stop the clock. Who else is doing that? No, carry on. Who else is doing that? Do you know what I'm saying? Like, no one else is getting in that Williams, slapping it second on the grid at a rain-soaked Spa-Francorchamps. George also beat Lando in F2. So if we're talking about actually just in equal machinery.
But how good is he at?
I was going to say, this is today, isn't it?
Yeah. If we're talking today, that's calm, man. George beat Lewis Hamilton across the championship, realistically, in a Mercedes. George has gone out and won at Brazil. Shown that when he's in a race-winning car, he can go out from lights to flag, control a Grand Prix.
The McLaren and the Mercedes are not equal machinery.
Okay, no, I hear that. I'm not talking about comparison to Lando, but in comparison to Charles, Charles has had multiple opportunities this season to win races, and whilst Ferrari have bottled it, he has also bottled it at times as well, like at Imola and in France. I haven't seen that sort of breaking from George Russell at times when he can bring home points. Boom.
Excellent. Not bad.
It wasn't bad.
But watch this.
Oh, God.
Lando Norris, right? In terms of mistakes, driver, mistakes themselves, I don't see him making any. I'm sorry, Russia last year, that was on the team for me. The team have to feed him more information. He put that car in that opportunity in that place. You look at how well he stacked up against Carlos Sainz, a man who outscored Charles Leclerc in their first season together as Ferrari teammates, and pace-wise hasn't been out-qualified Leclerc in the second half of this season just gone. How close he got to Sainz.
This man does not want me to retort right
Lando Norris, I'm sorry, Daniel Ricciardo came into that team with all the hype. Everyone expected Daniel Ricciardo to put Lando in his place and he just didn't. Lando stepped up, was able to dethrone the only man that could come close to Max Verstappen in equal machinery. Lando has not put a foot wrong in his F1 career so far. Obviously, everyone's got odd days. No one's perfect, right? But Lando, top tier, carrying that McLaren team forward to potentially future glory. We'll see, unless Audi snap him up as well. That could happen. Done. Oh, I just did another lap.
He didn't beef me at any point, though, so that's all on you. Like, he didn't even mention
Objection,
Your Honour!
Well, no, I beefed both of you at the start because Russell and Leclerc have both made their share of, individual errors.
Yeah, individual errors,
I feel like from an individual error point of view, I think Lando's strongest. So I'm carrying on. My minute's gone. But what do we actually believe? That's the question.
Right.
Equal machinery, Leclerc, Russell, Norris. Have we convinced each other to change our perspective?
I think
Jake, did you believe, first of all, in what you were saying?
half, 50%. Gun to my head. Keep using that analogy. Sorry. I think I would always go.
Come on, you got to pick one.
Flip flop between Leclerc and Lando. No, I still think. Nah, I'm going to go Lando. I think Lando. Because I
convinced you, it's fine.
Absolutely. I think, coming in, I had strong convictions and they melted them away. They're gone now. Freaking hell. No, I think Lando. I think put them all in the same car. Lando is, less prone to make a mistake. Because he's clearly got the mental capacity, I think, without having gone through all those different experiences. Leclerc, as you said, sometimes questionable decisions, or just thinking of France last season,
Imola as well.
And I won't cuss George out. I'm not being I'm not 100% sure with him yet. I kind of think we're early days. I think we did a phenomenal job at Williams.
First year at Mercedes.
I need to kind of see a bit more and kind of how are you as a driver? What are you like when you've got a car underneath you that can compete consistently with the other guys?
Yeah.
And then we'll kind of see it a bit more. We've seen flashes.
Because I think it was quite a low pressure season for George, wasn't it? No one even expected him to come in and really be there was the expectation of, you've got to be on Bottas's level. You've got to be at least, better. You've got to at least challenge Lewis a bit. But, we'll allow you if you're 60 points off him in the championship.
The car clearly wasn't competitive to win races at the start of the year.
Exactly. So that whole start of the season where he was just finishing in the top 5 consistently, whilst it was crazily impressive, he was probably driving under limited pressure, as much as you can be in Formula One. But I still think that was crazy impressive. Yeah. For me, I did start to convince myself, I'm not going to lie, whilst I was talking, because you know what it is? Halfway through, I thought about Bahrain as well, 2020, and didn't even say it.
Yeah, that's a very good shout.
But I was thinking it. Because that drive was ridiculous. The guy could have won it 4 different times.
His head was in front of the intake.
Yeah, I know. It was insane.
The engine was starving.
Screaming.
It was. Yeah, and I think he has had an impressive season. But you're right, in terms of those individual errors, you still kind of do see it. I always just love the fact that George, in one of F1's worst cars in the last 3, 4, 5 years, whatever, was still able to provide points semi-regularly.
Yeah.
And that drive, well, I would say it wasn't really a drive in terms of the race at Belgium, but qualifying.
Sail GP.
Yeah.
True.
As Sail GP, come on.
Full circle.
Swimming around. Was crazily impressive. But I do think, and I'm not contractually obliged to say this, but I do genuinely think in equal machinery, I think you would probably see Lando come out on top.
Interesting.
I'm not gonna lie. I love Charles as well. I do love Charles.
I think Charles has all the markings of a future.
Charles, if he can iron out these mistakes, will win championships.
Dude, he's getting
1,000%.
So many pole positions. He's got the mentality.
And he's got the speed, obviously.
And he's got the speed. So it's just once you iron that grease out, as you said.
I mean, it was his first time actually competing for a championship, so you cannot allow it a little bit. Max was making mistakes.
It must be difficult working with a team where clearly Charles' confidence in Ferrari has been quite understandably wavered by what happens.
It definitely had its moments, I think.
Yeah, 1,000.
I think of the 3, I think today Charles is the quickest driver. I think he's the quickest of the 3. Would I trust him to bring it home as much as I would Lando? No. But I think in terms of the quickest driver of the 3 today, I think it's Charles.
And obviously that was me and my advocacy
Yeah, absolutely.
I came in with a conviction, you melted that.
Yeah.
And then likewise, me and just this gift of lawyer speak.
Yeah, you swapped and I just melted my own. So none of us actually believed in what we were saying.
We're all liars.
We're all liars.
We're all frauds.
You're a liar, an actress.